Hey guys, how you doing? You know what? This word has been just been on me so heavy for like the last week, and um, this is my one of my first opportunities to really get this out. But one of the things that the Lord was really speaking to me about was this concept of windows of opportunity that a lot of times we hear about, where there's a window of opportunity to get things done. There's a window of opportunity for purpose and destiny. And I really believe that that's true. One of the things that the Lord spoke to me one day, that I saw very clear, is that one day when I was at an office building and I was going into an elevator, when I pushed the elevator button, what happened was I noticed that when the elevator doors open, that you have a very short period of time to actually jump in that elevator, so you can go up, to the next place you're going to. And the Lord spoke to me, during that time, because I see a lot of things and I kind of parallel things of how it equates to spiritual things and spiritual matters. He said to me that purpose and destiny is like an elevator. That when I speak to you and I tell you to get something done, please understand, you can't be procrastinating. You can't decide and determine when you feel like you want to get around to doing what I said. He says that if I tell you to start, open up a restaurant, if I tell you to write a book, if I tell you to write a screenplay for a movie, if I tell you to, start your fashion line, if I tell you to move forth in ministry, whatever it is that I speak to you or my people, he says, please understand that you cannot just determine and decide when you feel like getting around and doing what I said, because you have to understand that purpose and destiny is like an elevator, that in that moment you have to move on that opportunity when the grace and the favor is available. I'll show you what I mean. The Bible says in Numbers chapter number 13, God tells the children of Israel, watch this y'all, to go and possess the land. So they go out like Moses says, they go look at the land, they spy it out, and they bring back a negative report. They say, you know what, the land is good, but we can't take it because of the giants and because of the adversity. So they procrastinated. They said, no, we don't want to do it. So then they thought about it. They repented. They doubled back and they said, you know what? All right, we'll go ahead and do it. But the problem is that they did it out of season. And then when they tried to take the land, after the window of opportunity has shut, the enemies defeated them. Now, if they would have did it when the grace and the favor was upon them, then they would have gotten the victory. So in other words, they procrastinated and that window of opportunity shut. You guys we have to understand that procrastination is lethal if we let it rule our life. It is lethal. Listen, this is not the third grade. We cannot just turn in our homework when we feel like turning it in. No, there are lives on the line. There is purpose and destiny on the line, and we cannot be shuffling our feet and just trivializing the things that God tells us to do. I'm talking to somebody right now who has had a long history and a habit of procrastinating. It goes all the way back to grade school, always waiting till the last minute to do things. That habit has to be broken off of your life. Now, here's the thing that we have to understand about purpose and destiny, and about windows of opportunity, that there is grace with this, though, that even though you may not step into the elevator at that moment, the elevator is going to come back around eventually. So here's the point. The children of Israel, they didn't do it in the right timing in that season, but later on, the other generation, they did go in. So in other words, the land was possessed. But here's the problem. They went through 40 years of unnecessary drama because of procrastination. Could it be that a lot of the drama and the issues we go through in ministry, or with our church, or with our finances, or with our career, is because of procrastination? There were some things that the Spirit of the Lord really inspired us to do and really put in our heart to do, but we drug our feet and we took our time and we got distracted. We got focused on the pleasures of this world and just wanted to have fun, or we got busy with work or busy with the kids or whatever it is. And for whatever reason, we got distracted and didn't do it. And so what happened was it caused stagnation in our life. It caused many of you to wander. It caused many of you to get stuck in your life. And a lot of times we blame the devil. We blame evil spirits for where we are in our life. But the fact of the matter is, yes, sometimes it is a season where we seem like we're not moving anywhere. But sometimes our lack of movement and our lack of seeming like we're wandering is because of procrastination. It is dangerous to procrastinate. But here's the blessing. that opportunity will come back around again. But let me move forward, because I'm going to get back to that point. I need to say this. Here's the other problem with procrastination, is that the older generation of the children of Israel, they didn't move in when God wanted them to, but their children inhabited the land. So somebody did get the land, but it just wasn't them. It was their younger generation. Here's what we need to understand about purpose and destiny: that when God needs something manifested in the earth, if we don't do it, he will raise up somebody else to get it done. See, because the older generation didn't want to get it done because of procrastination, God said, look, I have to get this thing done. So he raised up another generation to take their place and do what he said. Let me ask you this question, because I'm going to make this very practical to you. Some of y'all can feel me on this one. Have you ever had an inspired idea? Have you ever had something creative that was placed into your spirit? You had an idea for a business. You had an idea for a book. You had an idea for a play. You had an idea for a ministry. You had an idea for a church. You had an idea, whatever it was, you were really inspired. And for whatever reason, you didn't move on it. And then later on, you saw that same thing on TV. You saw somebody else with a clothing line similar. You saw somebody else write a play similar. You saw another ministry do exactly what it is that God placed in your heart. Oh my God. And then what happened was, you're looking at exactly what you should have done. That's a terrible thing to go through life, seeing other people do what you procrastinated to do. And you say, well, that's not fair. Oh my God. No, you got to understand that there are certain purposes, and there are certain promises. There are certain destinies. There are certain assignments that need to be done in the earth. And God is not going to cause his purpose to fail because of our procrastination. No, sir. No, ma'am. We have to get up and do it, because one of the things that in Esther chapter number 4, Esther was called to deliver the children of Israel. But they said, hey, look, Mordecai said, look, deliverance will rise from somewhere else, but you will suffer because of this. So in other words, he was saying this. He was like, Esther, look, don't think you're that wonderful that God won't raise up somebody else to bring deliverance. So get over yourself. God will raise somebody up. And when you understand windows of opportunity, when you understand that you could possibly go through unnecessary trials, and when you understand that God potentially could raise up somebody else to do it, it will cause a fire to be lit in you to say, you know what? I don't care what it is. I'm going to do what God is telling me to do. Now, here's the $1 million question. Why do we procrastinate? Why do we do it? Why do we procrastinate? And one of the things that happened in Numbers chapter number 13 was this. When the leaders of Israel came back and told them about the land, they at first they were pumped up. You ever been pumped up about something? They were fired up. Moses said, yeah, y'all gonna get the land. They were fired up. But then when they listened to the spies, said they couldn't do it, all of their faith, all of their passion just drained out of them. This is why a lot of people procrastinate, because they share their dreams with the wrong people. Have you ever talked to somebody, you was fired up about a business idea, you was fired up about a ministry idea, you was fired up about a restaurant, and you started to talk to them, and my God, I mean, out of left field, they was like, well, how you gonna pay for that? And you sure that's gonna work? Well, I mean, don't you have to have at least a bachelor's degree to do that? I mean, you ain't even been preaching that long, and you gonna do that? And well, I mean, how much that's going, and by the time they done with you, they done talked you out of what God said. That is why you have to watch who you share your dreams with. There are some things you shouldn't even tweet until you're ready to walk in it. And so please understand, I came to encourage some people today. Don't you let fear, don't you let doubt, don't you let that stuff creep in your head to make you procrastinate. Don't you let nobody talk you out of it. If God said it, move on it, because you have an opportunity and a window to get that thing done. Yes, the opportunity will come back around, but why set yourself up for unnecessary drama? Now, here's why I'm saying this. It's because we're in a new season, and God is ready to bless your socks off. And he's speaking some fresh things to you that seem impossible. And the Lord told me to tell you, don't procrastinate. Move on it, because there's a blessing on the other side. And there's another group of people I'm speaking to. As I was speaking, you recognize that there were some opportunities in the past that you may have missed out on. The Lord said, because he's so gracious, he's going to bring that exact inspiration back to you again. And I'm giving you a second chance to get it done. This time, don't drop the ball. Go for it. Do it because it's your moment. Don't procrastinate. Do it at once. Peace. I'll talk to you later.